Girl, you've got questions. Questions about your body and how to feel good in it, about your hormones and how to keep them in check. Questions about your sex life and your whole health. Can you imagine having a best girlfriend who was also a triple board certified OBGYN? A girlfriend doctor you could call and ask or tell her anything. Someone who could show you how to live any stage of life, before, during, or after menopause, in a big, bold, and beautiful way. Well, friends, I'm your girlfriend doctor. I believe you are meant to flourish and shine, to embrace life and awaken to all its possibilities. Let's get there together. Welcome to our show. Welcome back to the Girlfriend Doctor Show. I'm Dr. Anna Cabeca, and today I am joined for this festive holiday season with two of my girlfriends. I've got Diana here and Karen, and we are excited to share with you about what we're doing for the holiday season. I'm going to have some real honest, open conversation. I know that this time of year is really hard for so many people. There are triggers from our past. There are relationships and gatherings that we may not want to go into or go to. And it may be that we can't go to one of the favorite holiday gatherings that we look forward to each year because of the coronavirus and the pandemic and concerns for health and safety. So all of these things are coming up. But one thing I want to really share with you is that this time of year, November, December, it's a time of stress in general. So we're adding on to that. So we want to create feelings that nurture our body, nurture our physiology, right? And nurture our relationships more so than at any other time of year. There's so much heart at this time of year. I will share with you a little funny story, maybe not so funny depending on who you are. But, part of my story, many of you know, is post-traumatic stress. And for honest, and post-traumatic stress causes this emotional disconnect. When cortisol goes up, oxytocin goes down. And when cortisol, our stress hormone, is up for a long time, oxytocin is down as well. And that creates this feeling of disconnect, of disassociation. I no longer feel love. I no longer want to go out and get together with my friends. I no longer enjoy or feel love with the people that I'm associated with. And that led me to divorce, but especially at this time of year. Honest to goodness, 2 years in a row, come December, I was at my favorite attorney's office saying, hey, I need a divorce. And she goes, I am not filing divorce papers around Christmas. Heck no. A year went by and I came back the following December and I said, I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm not filing divorce papers around Christmas because I'm not doing it. And I do thank her for that because it gave me time to work through and to really understand. But yeah, come March, I was back in her office. And needless to say, now I understand that cortisol, oxytocin connection, disconnect. And I want to just encourage you because you're not going crazy. So let's get into it because I have Karen here. Karen is a new friend of mine. We call her Mary Poppins in our house. She is Mary Poppins. Ava Marie and I prayed for a Mary Poppins when we came to Dallas, and
I flew
Karen
in.
showed up. She flew in.
More on a broom than
Soared into our life. And it turns out Karen's from Georgia. She's been a single mom too. I'm a single mom, and Diana's also a single mom. So we have another perspective around the holidays, and we wanted to talk about this. And Diana's also a new friend and my producer for the show, and just an amazing girlfriend. We've gotten to know each other over a few glasses of wine. Oh yes, we have.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. And we're going to talk today a little bit about how we're creating new traditions for the holiday and what the holidays mean for us. And then how do we recreate at this time? How do we create the disciplines and practices so that we embrace the season with the attitude of gratitude? And I always tell Ava Marie, girl, don't bring your attitude, bring gratitude, right? Don't bring your attitude, bring gratitude.
Good advice. Yeah.
Good advice, right? We're working on it. These are disciplines in the household, but it's so true. Finding the little things that make a difference. So, Karen, how about you? How are you spending these holidays?
Well, not the way I usually do. Normally, before Thanksgiving, I have a big Friendsgiving of about 50 people, which is a huge undertaking, and we've always had a great weather and a great time. And this year we tried to figure out how to do it, and it was like, Okay, we'll cater it. Oh, no. Oh, we'll have a food truck. No. Oh, we'll just have wine. Okay, we're not going to have it because it just didn't feel right. But I am
Because
going.
worry about coronavirus?
Right.
Because worry about-
Well, yeah. And I think because I have a wide range of friends, I mean, I'm on the supposed old end of being highly, vulnerable to corona, although I don't believe that. And so, but, I have generational friends, I mean, from 20 to 70. And so trying to make sure that everybody felt comfortable just wasn't working. So we decided that we may have it in St. Patrick's Day or Easter. Hopefully by then we'll be able to. But I am going home to my family. I haven't seen my daughter literally since January. So it's kind of a big deal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
And what are you planning to do when you go home?
Well, we're going to have our traditional family together, my brother, my nephews, and my other nephew, and my daughter. But then my daughter and I, because we haven't seen each other for so long, we rented a cabin up in North Georgia in Sawtee. So we have a cabin with a hot tub, with a fireplace.
That doesn't sound too bad.
For a long week. Yeah, no, it sleeps 6. You can each bring one kid.
Perfect. And I have to pick which kid I bring.
Yeah. Girls only. So unless they'll take the trash out, and then you can bring a boy.
Okay.
So we're going to do that for 2 days, just because we haven't seen each other, and we feel like we really. Even I talk to her every day, or I text her every day. It's not the same. As I jokingly say to her, I really need to smell your hair. I just need to have that scent of your child.
Do you know, that's so funny to say that. One time when my kids were not with me, I went and slept in my daughter's bed one night. And she thought I was crazy. But I told her that I needed to smell her.
Yeah.
You're going to make me cry now. But yeah, I get it.
I get it. And you do. You just, I don't know what it is. It's a maternal thing that, you can smell ugly things and dirty diapers. And you're like, oh my God, but that kid, their hair, even if it's a sweaty mess.
Right?
Man, I hear you. Yeah.
So that's the plan in Georgia.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
There's blessings and a lot to be grateful for that plan. So awesome.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
And Diana, how about you? What's it going to be like for
Thanksgiving
you?
is a little hard because, being divorced, I go back a little bit to what you were saying, and I don't normally talk about it really in public, but, just some of the feelings in going through divorce. You never want to embarrass the other person that's involved or your family or anything. But one of the things that I noticed when I was going through getting divorced is that I became very numb. And so when it came time for, this is like a crying episode. When it came time for the holidays, I almost didn't care. And so it got really hard because if I didn't have my kids with me, I was like, I'm just going to stay home. But then I finally realized I need to be with my family. And so once I started going back to being with my family, it was great because I had missed many years of that.
Yeah.
And so I started to reappreciate being with all of my family. And we have a really fun Thanksgiving with my brother's family, and his wife invites her whole family, and we're all very close. We spend, they've been married for like 20 years. We've done this with her family. And this is the first year that they decided not to do it at their house. They're going to her brother's, which is, further away. And so our family is not necessarily invited to that one because I'm sure they would be. I'm sure he would welcome us.
It's not the same.
But it's not the same because it's not my brother's house.
Right.
And so now my other brother is like, well, everybody can come over here, but it's going to be so much smaller. And I do have my kids this Thanksgiving. And so now I'm kind of bummed because I wanted to take them to the big Thanksgiving.
Right. You wanted to be a part of it.
And I'm still so appreciative. I could spend it with my parents and my other brothers and their wives and kids. But it's just really hard. It's hard because of Corona.
Yeah.
Everything changes. And some of the big get-togethers that you normally have, people are not doing them anymore because, the older people are worried about it.
And common sense.
And my oldest brother, where we're going, his mother-in-law lives with them, and she's very, very susceptible to getting sick. She also has some health issues, and so she's very concerned. And so, they're just real selective about who's coming over there, which I respect. I personally am not worried about anything, and I don't believe a lot of the hype, but I respect the people that do. So, you just have to kind of balance that, and it can be disappointing sometimes.
Yeah.
It can be. And then for children, right? Like it's back and forth. One week one Thanksgiving, maybe you have your children, and another Thanksgiving you don't because it's the other half's turn.
And I also think that hurts the relationships with the kids and the families because they're not with them every year. So the relationship is not as strong.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're only here 1 year and they know they're not coming back for 2 years, then they're like, I don't really care if I go there.
Yeah.
Because they're not building that kind of bond
And
regularly.
As we had like growing up with our cousins,
Right.
and our cousins were like extended siblings,
Yes.
and that getting together. And I want that for my
Me
kids.
too.
And then now we have also friends, like the concept of
Yeah.
Friendsgiving,
Right.
creating extended family or family, right?
Right.
That we create, and then how we can do that with creating beautiful traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do a pre-Thanksgiving, like Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, we do a low country bowl. And for those of you who don't know, a low country bowl.
Explain what that is. That is like, I'm starting to drool. Like,
Low
wait a
country
second
bowl
here.
is a
So
big
good.
old pot of shrimp and corn and sausage and
Do you know low
potatoes.
country
That sounds like a
It's like-
Louisiana thing.
It is Southern
Okay.
thing. It's a Southern thing, right? Right. So
Interesting.
but we do invite her father. So we try to be inclusive and not.
Yeah.
I think it's almost more stressful for your child, and my child is 30, than it is for you.
Yeah.
And your kid wants you to be happy, but they want to please everyone. And
Right.
that's the hardest lesson.
Right.
You know, how do you make sure that you're not personally inadvertently putting pressure on them, like, "Ah, your dad lives an hour away and I live 1,300 miles away and he sees you all the time. Why do I have to argue over seeing you for a few days?"
Right.
You know, so it doesn't get easier.
I was like, when they're 30, you still have these problems? Darn it.
Well, I was thinking, it's that sense. There's a saying that, what's it say? Cream rises, dust settles.
Yeah.
Cream rises, dust settles. Always do for the best interest of those that you love most and you care about. And I think that's been a challenge, a challenge in our family. Like, what's the season? Like, what do we do inclusively?
Right.
And where do we make those choices? And so, like, for this year, it's, and gosh, sometimes I have to go back and look who gets Thanksgiving this year. Why can't we just do it all together
Right.
and celebrate, so that we can continue the cousins getting together and nurturing and like having that good family reunion time, and
Yeah.
being able to do that in one way or the other.
Yeah.
And I really respect families that can do that
Yeah.
because my brothers, the same family that I was just talking about for Thanksgiving, they do. Their parents are divorced, but they have Christmas together. They have Thanksgiving together. Like, they all get together and they're fine. And it's almost like I really idolize them because I wish I could do that. I mean, I could, but not everybody wants to do that.
No.
So
Well, you know
it has
what?
to be everybody
Yeah.
want to participate.
Fortunately for me, when Meredith was little, we could. I had to like sit my friends down and sit my family down and say, you know what? This isn't about the divorce. This is about Meredith, and we have to do the right thing. And fortunately, my ex-husband's family did the same thing. I mean, and I'm still friendly with them 25 years later, so, but it takes a whole lot. It takes a whole lot of yelling in the back room. We're going,
A lot of attitude of gratitude.
yeah,
A lot of
exactly.
attitude of
A lot of
gratitude.
attitude.
I will say I'm very fortunate in that we are, in my situation, very amicable, and his mother and I are very close still. I mean, I still call her my mother-in-law
Yeah.
because she's amazing.
I
And
call mine
she
the
helps-
outlaws.
She's still.
I like that.
That's funny. But yeah, she still helps me all the time. Like, she'll come and pick. If I need to go to the doctor, I need a ride, she would come pick me up.
Right.
I like.
Like, we're very, very close still. And he's in another relationship, but I'm even friends with her. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's very amicable. But it doesn't matter. It's still, you don't get to have your kids all the time.
No.
And that part is
Hurts.
just, it's always going to be tough.
Yeah.
There's always that disruption in the energy, right? There's always that, like, that. There's the ebb and flow, and it's constant for us as single moms. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. There's the constant pull, and and that's the challenge. That's probably been one of the most challenging things. Until recently, I did not have an amicable divorce, right? I did not have an amicable separation. We didn't talk, and having to negotiate when you see your kids through your kids, it's hard. And so, we've been able to reestablish, like, so when I go out of town, he comes and stays at my house, and he can keep Ava in her routine. And this is the best we've been in a decade.
That's
It's the best we've been in a decade. And yet then I still like, okay, she wants to do hunting with her dad for the holiday. I'm like, I don't know about hunting. But thankfully, Shemaine Nugent, one of my dear friends, was like, come hunt. Let's do this. We can just sit
She'll take her hunting.
Yeah, we'll just sit in this, what does she call it? Like, anyway, just
in the blind.
The blind.
Or the
We'll
tree
sit in the
stands.
blind. And I'm like, I
Yes.
can read in there.
Yes,
And
you
she's like,
can.
oh, yeah.
And
So-
hers are probably heated and
I was gonna
comfortable.
say,
and,
best be buying some warm
a
clothes.
pillow.
Yeah. Probably a
Glamping.
bed in there you can sleep because they do get up really early.
Right, before sunrise.
Yeah.
Way before. Oh my
Oh.
gosh. So like anyway, it's about compromises you didn't actually, intentionally intend, right? You didn't intend. But so there are blah blah blah. There are compromises that you didn't intend, but it's great to be able to now, as we're creating this new Thanksgiving holiday at this time when there's this unrest,
Yeah.
there's this
Yeah.
uncertainty, and then as single moms, like just that adds into it. But creating new traditions. So think about like, okay, what's your new tradition that you're creating is
Well, the fact that we're going away alone for a couple of days,
the cabin.
and we've done
She
that.
thinks she's going to be alone.
Right? Well, not alone, but
We're coming.
okay. Well, you can come.
We're part of your new tradition.
Okay, hey, come on,
Realize
girls.
that.
We like that. Just bring wine. That's all you gotta do.
Done.
We can cook. We can cook till the cows come home, but
There you
just
go.
bring wine.
Got it. That's good.
That's awesome.
Exactly. And Diana, how about you?
It's funny. I don't
What are you
I don't
doing?
have a new tradition yet, but my goal is very similar to yours, and that I want to by the next time this rolls around, is that I want to be able to start taking them on a little. If I can't have the big family Thanksgiving, if it's not in the cards each year, I still want to be able to take my kids for a couple days over that holiday.
Yeah.
To just have alone time with them and.
We'll create
All
an
about the
experience
gratitude.
and create an
Yeah.
experience.
And mine's hard too. My son hunts every Thanksgiving. So I actually let him go with his dad, even though it's my time. A lot of times I let him go for the whole week because
Yeah.
that's what they love. And I'm not going to tell him he can't go just because it's not his fault that we're divorced.
Right.
And so I don't want to disrupt his fun. And so I normally let him go, and then hopefully he'll come back for Thanksgiving Day. And if not, then the day after he'll come back and we'll have the weekend together.
Right.
So then maybe I'll take them somewhere on the weekend. So I'm flexible. I don't have to be have a rigorous schedule. Thanksgiving for me doesn't have to be on Thanksgiving.
Right. It doesn't. It's only a day.
It is, and as long as I can have them and have some time with them, then I'm totally fine.
Well, it gets better because I think last year we went on a beer tour, and what the part I haven't told you about is there's about 6 or 7 wineries within driving distance of the cabin.
Then
We
we're
are
definitely
coming.
there.
We are coming.
Definitely
We
there.
are coming. Always,
Truth comes out.
That's
Right?
right.
Now I know why you booked that location.
Yeah, what you're doing there.
Yeah.
For sure. Now we know. Oh my gosh. That's fun. I love it. And then again, creating a new tradition.
Right.
Right.
Let's cheers to that.
I was going to
Cheers,
say,
for
drinking
sure.
is always part of tradition. Wine.
I think that, when we talk about Thanksgiving and we create these new traditions, that I want for each and every one of you to just really feel grateful for all the gifts that you have. Remember, accepting the situation that we're in right now and whatever, that may be. We talk about this and how do we prepare for the seasons? What do you know to be true right now? We can think of the things that we're missing and the things that we've lost or the tradition, the people we're not seeing, but we can also think about what we do have. Like, what are those gifts that we do have and what we're able to share together, and what can we do to reimagine some fun and energy and excitement into the season and get together with the people that you do love being around. I think that makes a difference. So this attitude, taking in this attitude of gratitude, and it's not soft science, right? We know that gratitude increases oxytocin, that hormone of love, bonding, and connection, as we stay present with what we know to be true right now. Like, what at this present moment is true to me? I'm healthy. I have my friends. I have healthy children. I have a community that I love and adore and am getting to know even better through this get together in the Girlfriend Doctor show. And I'm excited about that. And I know you guys are wondering what's on our table, because if you're not We've got
Quite the spread.
many people are wondering what's on our table right now. Should we talk about the spread now?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
For sure.
All right. We're going to
I'm
step away
curious.
for a second and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back to our Friendsgiving, our time of celebration, really, and being thankful for what we do have this holiday season. And as we're entering the holidays, I want to share with you that it can be healthy, it can be fun, it can be delicious, and it can be curious. Because as I was prepping our table here, we had many people come by and say, "What is this?" Here, if you can see this green stalk, it's like a Jack and the Beanstalk, but it's not beans. It is not beans. This stalk of mystery vegetable. So I'm going to leave you in suspense for a little bit longer, and I'm going to share with you like how what does it mean to be keto green for the holidays, and how we can reduce our sugar intake and be really, really healthy and entertain with zest and beauty and color and taste. So let me introduce, this is not a turkey, which should be a turkey for Thanksgiving. But when you do last minute Thanksgiving shopping and the organic turkeys are gone, you end up with maybe a chicken. So this is our chicken.
Forewarning.
Distant relative.
Shop early. And if for this recipe, we're going to put a link at dranna.com under my Girlfriend Doctor show in the show notes for my parents' fabulous recipe of turkey in the bag. It's the way we make the Thanksgiving turkey every year. It keeps it juicy and succulent. So we'll have these recipes for you in our show notes on my site. But so this turned out to be a chicken anyway, but pretend it's a turkey because I love turkey. Turkey's high in tryptophan, which can help you get a good night's sleep. And that's why you feel like so tired at the end. Not only that, but it's all the other carbs at your dinner table that bring your sugar very high and then crashing down. So we're avoiding that. So now my stuffing here that I put here, you can see the beautiful colors. We have peppered in some whole cranberries on here, and the instead of stuffing, we have a turnip. Well, it's not actually turnip, it's parsnip, carrot, and cauliflower stuffing. So this is what I steamed and then somewhat mashed. You can actually blend this in the blender to give it a beautiful orange color, but I just mashed it because I wanted you to kind of see the variation. I love the different textures. But cauliflower, and I used parsnip, which is rich in phytonutrients and also very low in carbohydrates as well, rich in fiber, low glycemic load, so it's not going to shoot your blood sugar really high. And then carrots for color, and of course all the carotenoids, which are good for your eyes and your skin. And so that's a nice keto or low carbohydrate addition to your Thanksgiving dinner, you're celebrating around the holidays. So what else do I have on my table? So you can have appetizers that are, here's an eggplant dip, some salami, and using sliced cucumbers instead of chips. You have some great, beautiful brie cheese, which you can just do like this, or you can bake it and have it melted, which I love that too. And then these are my favorites. I'm going to grab one of these. See how beautiful these are. I don't know if we can zoom in on this. Do you know what this is?
I see bacon.
It's a good start.
I've never
It's a
eaten
good start.
what's inside of it.
It's a date.
Yes, this is like really part of the dessert, honestly. Bacon wrapped dates. So 3 of them should give you about 15 to 20 grams of carb. Wow. So just knowing that, dates are rich in fiber. They're one of like the just amazing nurturing foods of tradition. They go all the way back to biblical times. So dates are just incredible foods, and then wrapped in bacon gives it flavor. You can stuff the date with almond or blue cheese to add additional. And my youngest daughter, Ava Marie, was in earlier, so she had actually stolen a few. This is one of our family's favorite recipes, and it's usually what we are asked to bring when we go to dinner parties. That is our dish.
And better than most dates.
Better than most.
Just saying.
True. Bring the bacon wrapped dates, not the guy you brought last year.
He's a ham.
It's terrible.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
No.
Mom. couldn't help it.
So is blue cheese good for you or better for you than some of the other cheeses?
Well, for
because
me,
I love blue cheese.
I love blue cheese too. So again, depends on the source of the dairy, but we want, dairy that is from free range cows that aren't injected with antibiotics or other hormones. And the nice thing about blue cheese, it's fermented. So that was a natural source of penicillin. So it was a medicinal food as it was brought into the culture of Roquefort. Like Roquefort is the famous area in France, Roquefort cheese or Roquefort blue cheese, where they really developed this. And the story goes, because I went to Roquefort, France, and went into the caves where
cool.
they had this. And the story
They
is
age
that
it, yeah.
they age it, yeah. And the story goes that there was a young shepherd, and he left his pail of lunch and forgot about it. And then when he came back his next round, it was this amazing cheese. And so, isn't that interesting story?
That is cool.
That's cool.
So and so appetizer wise, so use cranberries to decorate everything, and not drinking wine like we are. Sparkling water, adding cranberry and lime just creates this beautiful, festive, sparkling, non-alcoholic beverage that you can have. We have some natural organic cocoa, so chocolate there for you, and nuts. Sometimes you can mix them together. You can also roast the nuts, then add in the chocolate, which is super nice to do. And that's a great appetizer as well. And then our mystery food. All right.
Da, 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 da.
I've never seen anything like that.
Our Brussels sprouts. And I think it's the most beautiful thing. If you've never grown Brussels sprouts, let me just challenge you to grow some Brussels sprouts, because all of a sudden they're growing in the garden and they look like these amazing,
Prehistoric. They almost look prehistoric or
prehistoric. I was trying to think of a word for dinosaur.
Sounds like first syllable.
Amazonian, prehistoric. It's what is this? I mean, how cool when you came across this in the field.
Right.
Like, when did this come up?
Who thought of it?
And then you would take that off and eat it.
Yeah.
Really?
And they're so good.
And they're
I
so
love
good
Brussels
for you.
sprouts.
So we've added in. So here we have our cauliflower with the carrots and parsnip. Again, cauliflower is one of our cruciferous vegetables. Same with Brussels sprouts, cruciferous vegetables, breast healthy, rich in phytonutrients, antioxidants, sulforaphanes, and methylators. So these are ways that we help our body detox. So we've got a healing, healthy, amazing dinner to enjoy.
Can you explain what cruciferous is?
Cruciferous means it's a family of vegetables. Like if we think of the different classes, cruciferous vegetables are like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. Cauliflower.
Okay.
Really crunchy.
So the plant, kind of crunchy plant type.
Yeah. Above ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they have that, they have this
Those are all the ones that I
multi-form.
like, so.
Yeah, exactly. And they're so good for you. They're rich in something called DIM or diindol methane, which is also helps for healthy breasts. That's why we talk about Brussels sprouts. And if you think about it, we've got our cabbage, we've got our Brussels sprouts, we've got a healthy breast ketogene meal.
When we're done, we're going to have really healthy breasts.
And
Healthy
turkey
breast.
breasts. We should have turkey breasts.
Turkey breast.
Or
chicken
chicken
breast.
roll today. I really am excited to try the stuffing because I don't actually care for traditional stuffing. I usually get a little taste of it each time I go somewhere different because I keep trying to figure out if I'll like someone else's, but I never really care to have stuffing. Which is a good thing, right? Because it's not very good for you. The traditional kind.
Right.
The ones that people make with all the breadcrumbs
right.
and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't ever really like that. So I'm excited to try this.
Well, next year,
maybe an
I'm sorry, I was going
alternative
to say next year I'll make you the jalapeno cornbread dressing and you'll like it.
Amazing.
Or at the
cook
cabin.
right
We'll make it at the cabin.
amazing cook and entertainer for sure. Now I'm going to teach a couple, other ways to make this beautiful stuffing. The Portuguese have a turnip stuffing, and I couldn't find turnips, so that's why the parsnips were brought in as a nice, healthy substitute. But again, also very good and rich and high in fiber. And it breaks down that sugar rush that comes into your body. You can also add in the Portuguese, they put chouriça in their stuffing. And so like a spicy sausage. That spicy sausage, it's like a long linked red sausage, and you can slice it and stir it up and then add it into your stuffing. So you add another texture. And also it's in the kitchen right now and I forgot to bring it out.
Ruh-roh.
Pine nuts. Pine nuts are another thing to decorate with like the cranberry and the pine nuts. It's really a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
thing to add to your meal. So this is our healthier
This is a great
Thanksgiving. Yeah, Friendsgiving. So, and if you may have someone who just wants the stalk of, like, how do you then eat it? Take the stalk. Karen, tell us how we eat that now. Take the stalk and start chewing like corn on the cob. Yeah.
Hopefully, none of our friends will do that. One thing
I'll get a line and start
Yeah.
eating at the same
like
time.
a corn on cob. One thing I was going to say is another thing you can add for another layer of flavor if you really like cranberry sauce is you can make a jalapeno cranberry sauce or cranberry
I love
relish
cranberry
with
sauce.
cilantro, and you don't have to even add sugar to it, and it's you can use it as a dip or you can use it with your dinner. And it may be a Texas thing, but it's really good.
I love, and hot pepper can, really does
get you
open up
going,
the
yeah.
flavor. It helps with vasodilation. There's good medicinal
Yeah.
reasons too. I
So
love that
have
idea.
a question, because I know that we don't have dessert here, but can you
Oh,
give
yeah.
us some examples of what is a good keto dessert to
Yeah.
follow all this amazing stuff?
I'm so glad you mentioned that because there are a few recipes. We have some feast recipes, which is our chocolate avocado pudding. I'm telling you, this is it's dairy free, totally keto, very few grams of carb, and it's made with avocado, chocolate cacao powder, some monk fruit, and you can add, if you wanted, some mint or vanilla added into it. But that chocolate mousse pudding, like for someone who's been dairy free for so long, has been amazing. And that's when we're going to give you a link in the show notes to my feast recipes, and that includes this recipe for the chocolate mousse. Another recipe that we have is my keto green or keto alkaline carrot cake, because you can make it with a nut flour instead of a regular gluten flour or wheat flour. So you can use it with a nut flour, and then carrots. You can put in some coconut, and you can add some other, like if you wanted to add a little bit of date, something for natural sweetness, you can also do that. And we have a great recipe for a key lime pie.
Yeah.
So and also the way you make your pumpkin pie or your sweet potato pie. I mean, there's that opportunity to feast and carb up during this time, but there's also ways that you can create some new dessert traditions. So
There's a keto pecan pie that I saw too, but
I love pecan pie.
Me
That is
too.
my
Yeah.
favorite.
But
Pecan chocolate pie.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything with chocolate.
I know,
but I don't remember where I saw it, but I know that I've seen one online that you can.
Well, we're
We'll
gonna
see if we can add it. We'll
create
find
a
it, yeah.
recipe and put one in there, because I did win way back when I did win a cooking contest for a pecan chocolate pie.
Yum.
Really?
I did. My mom
Well,
was
that
an
recipe
amazing.
needs to be on the
Well,
website.
that was not keto.
That was
Oh,
that was
okay.
some Cairo syrup in there. I'm sure.
That
was pre-keto.
Well, yeah, we'll get a
Well, I'll find
pecan
it. Yeah.
chocolate keto pie recipe, because for the crust, if you love you can make a nut crust.
Yeah.
And that is tremendous too. So just making these little variations can make it healthier and more wholesome for all of us, so that we're not crashing and burning for a few days afterwards.
Yes.
So
Cool.
sound good? All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for being here with us. Thank you, Karen, for
Thank
your
you.
fun
Happy
laughter,
Thanksgiving.
humor. Thank you, Diana.
Happy
you for having
Thanksgiving.
us.
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
To all of you out there, I want to just wish you the happiest of holidays this year, and that you can really feel this season of Thanksgiving, and that you create a new definition for yourself, an added definition, added like that cherry on the top. What is that for you? What do you know to be true right now? What do you appreciate? And where are you bringing your attitude of gratitude? I know that my community is this amazing warrior of women that are just excelling and bringing blessings to all of those around you. So with that, I thank you for being part of our Girlfriend Doctor community and sharing with me your deepest questions. And remember, there's no such thing as TMI. So I'm happy to be here with you. I love you. I care about you. And I wish you a beautiful, amazing holiday season. Cheers to all of you.
Cheers.